it, so let's get into this. It's a beautiful looking bike, absolutely stunning, no doubt about that. You'll find the specs of these online. I'll try and post them as well as part of this video, but let's just quickly go around. Engine mod. So at the making of this video, it's been about 2.5 weeks since I got the bike. I've ridden it for about 250 kilometers, and couple of good things, couple of not so good things. So the day I got the bike, I started having this whistling sound from the front tire, possibly somewhere over here, which I thought could be from the brake, and I thought it would go away with time, which it did not. So after like 4 or 5 days, I took it to the service center, which was in the Bandra Sign area, that one. And a couple of things about that one: it's not the best service station because it's literally by the side of the road. It's a very busy road, so if you're trying to listen out to details like the engine sound or anything that's making any sort of noise, it's impossible to figure anything out because of the sound of the road. So I go to the guy and I tell him that there's this sound, and he tries and fixes it by changing something on the brake pad. And now all of a sudden the brake pads are super loose. The sound is gone, but the brakes, when I press them, I need to press a little more than I usually do. I took a test ride, come back to him, and I tell him about the issue. And the guy's like, "No, this is normal. It's not loose. If you give it a few hours, it'll tighten up." And I took his word. I got back. The brakes didn't exactly tighten up, but the sound was gone. But by the time I reached home, which was about 10 kilometers, the sound was back, and even more, and on both the tires. So that wasn't the best. 2 days later, I went to the Verli workshop, spoke to them about the issue. They were a little more attentive. It felt a little more credible and a little more comforting to go to that workshop. It had an area where you could sit down and have coffee, but that apart, you could see the bikes being serviced right in front of you, like from top above. They fixed it. The brake was better. The sound was gone. There was some issue over here. There was an issue with the clutch. The gear switch. So there were times when I would try and get it in neutral, and it would say it was in neutral, but it was not. So when I would release the clutch, it would stop. They fixed that. There was an issue getting in the first gear because it was tough to go with that, to press it harder. They fixed that. And then I inquired about what was the sound all about, and the guy was like, there's a bit of a the clutch, not the clutch, the brake pad had a bracket which was touching the disc, which made that sound. Now I don't know if he actually checked that, if he just made that up and he said that, but that was that. So that was a bit of a disappointment when it comes to servicing. Yeah, I bought it from the Verli store, which did a couple of mess ups themselves. I was under the impression that I'll get an O2, MH02 registration, which the guy promised me, and then when I actually got it, it was an MH47. And he's like, "Oh, you stay close to Borivali, so that's what it is." And I did not know that had changed. It was still O2 for the longest time. And the guy didn't know himself, so that was a bit of a thing, but not too disappointing. The main bit was the sound. But talking on the positive sides of these things, I rode it at about 60, 70. And you know, back in the day, Royal Enfield had this ad called "Jab bullet chale to sab raah de." And I'm actually seeing that, like when I'm even at a junction and I'm slow and there's a truck or there's a car, they will wait. I don't know if that's because I look a little aggressive, or it's because of the bike. I'd like to think that it's because of the bike. Because look at it, it's a grand thing. Beautiful bike, and riding on the highway at that speed, man, it's so stable. It's beautifully stable. No question of any vibrations, at least at that speed, which I'm supposed to ride at for the next couple of 100 kilometers, since I've not had the first servicing as yet. I'm gonna start the bike soon, get a little sound, check on that. So overall, I'm not a biker. This is my first bike, and the first time I've gotten into biking, and it's been an excellent experience so far. Just about 2.5 weeks, yet to go on long rides, but looking forward to that. Okay, so let's do the sound on this boy. Guy at the Bandra sign told me that this is a very common thing, this sound. He used a technical term. He said I could even YouTube it. It was as though it's a very common thing and I shouldn't even be concerned about it, but a brand new bike making sound is not what I expect. That said, anyone who's looking to buy this and doesn't have experience in biking or with Royal Enfield, I think it's a yes, you should buy it. It is definitely a great bike, at least till now. Servicing, yeah, I wouldn't really give them top mark for that. The attitude can be a little not so friendly at times. But that being said, there are quite a few service centers around India, so maybe try someone else who can, at least that's what I'm gonna do, try other people who can help me out with that. Yeah, cheers. So I hope you like this. Hit a like, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Drop in a comment. Let me know if there's anything else that I can share from my limited experience. But as a newbie, if that's what you're looking at, I'll be happy to do that. All right, cheers.